I'm not going to make this a very long video. Right now it's 10:40 p.m., June 27th. The presidential debate has just ended. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden went exactly the way I expected it to go. There were a few things that I wasn't expecting, obviously, because CNN came up with all these rules. I guess they felt were going to handicap Donald Trump. But the reality is, Trump handled it very, very well and did exactly what I expected him to do. And Biden, unfortunately, Biden did not perform as well as I expected he would. I expected Biden to, well, Trump was basically claiming Biden was going to be drugged up and that they were going to give him performance enhancers and this, that, and other. Honestly, that's exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting Biden to have plenty of energy, and I was expecting Biden to come out swinging and blah, blah, blah. The reality is, Trump came out like a bull. Like, he came out of like he just came out like a raging freaking bull. And poor Biden, the only ones you convicted criminal. Poor Biden mumbled his way through this debate. And to tell you the truth, it was really sad to watch. It was sad to watch this old man who should be retired. I don't understand how we allowed there to be limits on the presidency based on age and based on cognitive abilities through the 25th Amendment. But we didn't put those exact same restrictions on the Congress. As far as I'm concerned, at this point, I think Biden basically has shown us that what we really need is we need limits on the age that you're allowed to be for the presidency. First of all, at this age, there ain't no reason for you to be president at this age. Your ass should be retired from whatever you're doing. You wouldn't be allowed to drive at this age in some places because you're just too old and your cognitive abilities are declined so bad. Why are you allowed to be president? And I'm not even saying that to hurt Biden specifically, because the same thing almost could apply to Trump. If I were to say, oh yeah, well, there needs to be a law that says after 80 you're not allowed to be president, or after 75 you're not allowed to be president, neither one of them would get to be president. But the reality is, watching Biden up there mumbling and stumbling his way through every single thing he's saying, you don't know if it's his speech impediment or his cognitive ability. You really don't know. But the reality is, Trump came out exactly as I expected Trump to do. Trump came out swinging like an animal. He came out swinging like a wild animal. And I'll also say this. And I've said this before, I'm absolutely disgusted with the media itself. They've done every single thing they could to keep Trump's voice silent in the media. They knew that he was going to be the Republican nominee. They knew that he was going to keep on coming and he was going to run for president. They knew it. And rather than cover him, I guess they all got together and said, we're not going to give Trump any free press whatsoever. Because, see, the last time he ran, they knew that people were listening to what he was saying. And they knew that giving him free coverage, they knew that it was good for their numbers. This time what they've done is they cut away from everything he said. Every speech he does, they cut away from it. I've never seen a court case that was this important, such as now you got to understand, from a historical point of view, this was the first time that a former president, I should say, was ever tried for felonies. From a historical point of view, there should have been cameras in that courtroom and we should have been able to see it. What did they do? They put a gag order on Trump. They made it so you couldn't even see what was going on. That, to me, does not scream transparency. That screams lack of transparency. That's number one. As far as that Jean Carroll case, I think that was straight bullshit. But I don't even know what happened, because short of listening to one of these shoddy news agencies, you wouldn't know what happened. So you have to take everything as secondhand information. Why would now there in that case? You remember when Bill Clinton was on trial with Monica Lewinsky? I remember that. Some of you may not remember it because you might not have even been born. But the reality is, I saw more of that case, which was lascivious. I don't even understand. I honestly, at this point, to tell you the God's honest truth, I honestly don't even know what the charges against Trump were in the Jean Carroll case. I honestly don't know. I really don't know. With the Monica Lewinsky versus Bill Clinton case, they kept that on television. They talked about it every single day, but they had that camera in that courtroom. They made it so that if you really wanted to watch it, you could watch it. From a historical point of view, I should have been able to watch both of these cases that Trump was involved in, one with Jean Carroll and the felonies case where supposedly a nonviolent crime was expanded and the charges were quote unquote trumped up in order to make it a 34 count felony or whatever it was. They put a gag order on Trump. They knew that given any chance to speak, what he was doing was he wasn't just defending himself based on the trial itself. They knew that he was campaigning. They knew that this debate was going to turn into a Trump campaign. They knew it. And what did they do? They tried to put all of these safeguards. Oh, well, the buttons on the mic will turn off if one guy is speaking and the other guy is not supposed to speak. They made it so there's no crowd. Since when have we ever had a debate where there's no crowd? First of all, as far as I'm concerned, these aren't debates anymore. This is war. These are not debates anymore. This is not a friendly conversation. This is war. War. That's what this is. War. I've never seen a situation where there's nobody in the freaking audience. I've never seen this. I've never seen this before. Now, I think CNN must have thought they were being cute, and they must have thought that they were handicapping Trump, but all they did was they made Trump come out stronger. You got Biden, and then you got Trump out there swinging. This is not a friendly conversation anymore. This is fucking war. That's what this is. That's what this is. When you learn to treat it as war, then you understand you're at war. From the moment you wake up in the morning, you're at war. That's what it is. This ain't no friendly conversation. You're out there fighting for jobs. You're out there fighting for fucking interest rates. You're out there fighting for groceries. This is war. But you got this guy over here mumbling and stumbling. Trump did exactly what I expected him to do. I have to say he's a better man than me, because if it was me, I would have gotten up there trying to pull Biden's heart out of his chest. But Trump is a better man than I am, because if it was me, I'd have been up there. I'd have put poor Biden into cardiac arrest. The shit that I'd have come up with. Like, I would have pulled it. There was so many things that Trump, as far as I'm concerned, had a chance to say that he didn't say. If it was me, for me, every single battle is Mortal Kombat. One of us is coming out of here, the other one's you're gonna fucking die right here. This is fucking war. It's no longer a goddamn friendly conversation. If it was up to me, there's so much shit that I would have said. You know, it's funny. What would you? Why is it black people get singled out? Oh, well, what would you say to the black people who don't make 45 cents on the dollar? I don't even know what the stupid ass question was. First of all, I'm a black 40. I'm over 40, and I'm a black man, right? In just a couple of days, I'm going to Bali and Singapore on motherfucking business class. I got a brand new electric Cadillac. Oh, believe me, I'm eating. When I'm over there in Bali, I'm going to be eating. I'm going to be eating all that fried barbecue and all that, whatever they got over there, because I've never been to Indonesia before. Usually I go to the Philippines. I'm going to be over there partying. I'm going to have my chick. We're going to be partying. And then we're going to Singapore. We're going to do some more partying. Why is it? I don't understand how the black family doesn't make enough. But how the fuck do we get singled out? I don't understand that shit. But the bottom line is, all of us ain't broke. There's plenty of black people down the block with Mercedes S-Classes and fucking Lamborghini Uruses and shit. Like, I took video of that shit earlier. There's plenty of people down the block like that. So, yeah, the ones of us who are hurting, most of us didn't plan very well. So how we get singled out, I don't know. So they pulled the question out, oh, what would you say to the blacks and this, that, and other? Now, I don't know why they didn't say, what would you say to the Hispanic voters who are not making as much money as rich white people are? I don't know why they didn't single them out, but they always single out blacks. My bottom line is, if it was me and I was Trump, I would have said, yeah, well, Biden, you gave $90 billion or whatever it was to Ukraine, and then you gave all of these weapons to Israel and everything to fight wars that never should have happened and never would have happened when I was in office, because I gave you 4 years of no war. That's how I would have, if I was Trump, I would have pulled that one out on him. I would have been like, yeah, well, to finance all your wars, all of this money could have gone to help blacks and blah, blah, blah. But see, Trump doesn't think that way, and I guess maybe he doesn't think that way. Obviously, he's not me, but I would have pulled that shit out on him. So bottom line is, I gotta say, I put up a little poll, and my poll was, who won this debate? Obviously, it was like 95 or 96% said Trump. I pulled that poll out about 30 minutes before the debate was over. And then what was even funnier than that, on my group chats on my phone, people in my family who are pro-Biden, they hate the ground that Trump walks on, right? There were a couple of them, oh, I can't watch this anymore. Oh, I hate seeing Biden speaking softly. Oh, I'm going to bed. I can't watch this no more. You can't hide from the truth. And in this case, the truth is on television, in front of your face. The truth at this point has become a weapon. It's become a hammer, and it's hammering you in the fucking eyes. And it's like, yeah, guess what? This is what you've got right here, and you've got a choice. So you've got like 3 choices. Either you're voting Trump, Biden, or you're not voting at all. And I think RFK is running, or whatever that guy's name is, the Kennedy guy. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to this shit. I don't pay attention to the third party because nobody really does. But the bottom line is, okay, you've got like really 3 choices when it really comes down to it. Either you got Trump, Biden, or you're not voting. There's an old saying that if you don't vote, then you voted for the person who wins. Because if you didn't vote, then that means that the candidate who loses, who could have possibly used your vote, well, he didn't get it. So that means the other guy benefited from you not showing up. But here you got people tuning away from the debate. They don't even want to watch it. Because when they saw Biden's performance, they pretty much already knew. They knew it was over. And I'm looking on Facebook, I'm looking on Twitter, and people are all basically saying the exact same. This is one of the few times, I think this is one of the few times where, you know how when they do that post-debate autopsy, and they basically say, yeah, well, this is the point where you got him, and this is the point where the guy backed down. You know how you did a post? I think this is one of the few times where we don't even need to see it, and this time everybody's pretty much like, yeah, Trump won. I think this is one of the few times. This is one of the few times where there's no debate as to who won. I think that any poll that's put up, and people who actually honestly watch the debate vote on a poll, I think that any poll that's put up is going to say Trump won. This is what I've never seen no shit like this before. This is one of the few times where it's unanimous. And anybody who puts that Biden won is either lying to themselves, or I guess they're just lying to themselves. I can't even think of another possibility. Maybe they were watching something else in a different language. I don't know. But the bottom line is, I think this is one of the few times where it's unanimous. So I don't know how long I ranted. Well, then again, I'm looking at this clock. I think I started at 10:40. Right now it's 10:55. So I'm guessing I'm about done. But this was, to tell you the truth, this was absolutely embarrassing. Me personally, as far, these people, oh, the soul of the nation. It's like the soul of the nation. Y'all, I think anybody who talks about this bull, like these people talk about January 6th like this shit never happened before. It's like, hey guys, the Revolutionary War was literally this country rebelling against its fucking king. It was an insurrection. And if the king had enough power to put over here to put these people to death, we'd still be a colony under England. No, the spirit of this country is war. That's all it's ever been. The spirit of this country is war. The spirit of this country is violence. That's what it's always been. Now, they don't want to, nobody can get up there and say that shit. But the more you learn about the actual history of this country, you understand that that's what it is. So these people, oh, well, if Trump wins, I can't believe in the country no more. It's like, you're an idiot. I just want to tell you, you're an idiot. That's what you are. You're an idiot. The country is land. The country is some states, some land, some borders on a map, and it's a bunch of people living in it. There ain't no spirit in no fucking country. What are you talking about? It's like, you're idiots. I can't imagine. How did we get to this? How did we get to these two guys as candidates? Well, George Carlin himself actually had an answer to that very question. He's like, this was the best we could do, folks. That was his answer. He said, this was the best you could do. So when you're looking at the steady decline and the steady decay and the steady aging of this country, what you're looking at, this is the best we could do, folks. When you're looking at the miseducation of these kids because they're in school fucking watching TikTok on a goddamn phone all day, not learning anything, not learning civics, not understanding anything about the Constitution or anything else, this is the best we could do, folks. So, why aren't the candidates more diverse? Why isn't there a woman candidate? Why isn't there a tranny candidate, a transsexual candidate up there? This is the best we could do, folks. This is the best we could do. Why aren't they more diverse? Why aren't they younger? These guys are old and white. They don't understand us. This is the best we could do, folks. And that's it. So I'm pretty much done. I tell you, this was a disaster. Trump curb stomped Biden. This was so lopsided, it wasn't even, like, I'm up there watching. At some points, I'm laughing at what Trump says. At some points, I was laughing at what Biden says. But the overall gist was, I can't believe this poor old man is up there and he's being forced to do this shit because it's just sad. It's just really, this is just sad. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. We need to have a constitutional convention, and we need to put together an amendment that says, term limits, you're not allowed to be president or a Congress. See, they always forget about these Congress people. See, I want to cut all these motherfuckers out too. You're not allowed to run for office if you are over 70. Yeah, something like that. Like we'll settle on maybe even Social Security age. What is it? Because they've screwed up Social Security so badly with cost of living increases that for the most part, most of these people are going to end up working until they're 70-something. They're going to end up working at 72. As far as I'm concerned, we should cut that shit down to like 65. So, you know what? In fact, as soon as you hit whatever the agreed upon Social Security age is, you're no longer allowed to run for president. That's what I would do. But this, I swear to God, this is an absolute embarrassment. That's what this was. This is an embarrassment. Embarrassment. I'm about to fly to the other side of the world, and I hope to God nobody asks me anything about politics because I'm gonna tell them. You may be from Bali. You may be from Singapore. You may be Japanese. You might be because you got to understand, I'm about to be on this plane. It's called ANA. All Nippon Airways. It's business class. I'm gonna be making videos. Business class where I've got a Japanese hostess, and she's gonna be waiting on me, and I'm gonna be like, more sake, and she's gonna be like, hi. Now I hope to God that she doesn't ask me about politics, because I'm gonna tell her, and she may not be able to understand everything I'm saying, but I'm gonna tell her. I'm very embarrassed. I believe in Japanese to say I'm sorry. I believe it's ashimasen. Like, I'm gonna have to tell this woman I'm embarrassed by this debate. I'm gonna have to ashimasen. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. And I'm embarrassed. This is embarrassing. This whole thing was embarrassing on both sides. This is the best we could do, folks. And this Japanese waitress, I'm gonna have her feed me sake the whole way. I'm gonna have like ramen noodles and sake. Give me more sake. Hi. And she has to bow. Like she's got to go hi. And you can't see me, but I'm bowing. Hi. You know, I tell you, this is just embarrassing. I swear to God, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassment. It's an absolute embarrassment. But that's all I had to say. So I guess I'm done.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
To be continued.